Hey, what's up guys, Dingley here. Today I'll be VOD reviewing ZQ and Endilex's first place finish in the Middle East Daily Duo Cash Cup. The reason I wanted to do this is that they managed to achieve first on 130 ping. He won with Cooler Falls Yard twice. This video will feature their first tourney win. For information, they're both French and don't officially duo. Endilix has a 50% win rate, copping first in 3 of the 6 cups at the time of recording. So basically how this VOD will work is we'll watch a highlight together and then I'll make my comments. Obvious topics will be pinching on high ping and how to play safer on high ping. This duo's Twitter and the VOD review document will be available in the description. Enjoy the rest of the video. So this first thing I sort of found is I'm playing really safe due to high ping. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video. This clip, I'm going to full screen it for you guys. He gets the kill there. You see his health. He's got a HP advantage as well, high ground advantage, but he doesn't choose to take the 50-50 yet again because, you know, obviously I said he has shield and high ground advantage and also a chance to manipulate the high ground pistol bloom, but he doesn't take the chance of potentially being one pumped. So it obviously tells us that playing Lone Wolf early game on high ping isn't smart. You really need to be with your duo. Here's another example is here, playing extra safe by using the environment. This is all about right hand peeks and sort of finishing off the kill by not forcing a 50-50. So he gets an 18 white tag there or something. And he finishes off the kill. So my comments on this is, so he tagged 16, 18 white, something like that. And a lot of players I feel would have rushed through and forced a 50-50. But I just love how he waits for the right hand window peek. He definitely would have got the kill either way if he just ran straight in, however at the potential loss of HP. So this told me that, HP, you should treat it very importantly when playing on high ping. Because I think the fight tables can turn when you're low on HP due to difficulty with box fighting and healing, especially in higher skilled lobbies. I also thought that the fact that he does this in the first game, which is the bot lobby, I guess means exercising your playstyle in any situation is how you improve it. Okay, this next clip, is one about the 2x1 strategy, which was sort of pioneered by an ass, and it was found by Speedy Gonzalez. So thanks for that. And I'm thinking about how it's a must on high ping. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch this clip.
Nice.
So you see, he makes a 2x1 of metal. Alright, there he so I think your piece control is going to be taken so often on high ping. So the more amount of initial piece control you have, the better. So obviously a 1x1 isn't smart. You need to be making those 2x1s off the rip. Right? So the more space you have, the easier it is to disengage and predict the enemy. It also seems like the metal material is your best friend. The fact that it's harder to get caught off guard due to the metal HP. I guess, despite it not building as fast as other materials, the fact that it has the highest HP, and if you sort of box up earlier, and also the feature that allows you to have vision through it helps ZQ track his enemy and predict his next move, and this allows him to preemptively edit a wall in some cases. In this case, he was able to preemptively edit the wall and then place a cone. So yeah. Now we're going to go on to sort of mid-game. I found a really good strategy they do is how to perfectly execute the mid-game fights. So what they first do is they start off their HP advantage. With a HP advantage, it's so advantageous on high ping. So the way they do this is grenades. Every game I was watching them, they carried grenades. They'd even run back into Storm for grenades if they saw them. It's such an asset to have in your economy as a duo. And so this clip shows why. So yeah, that's sort of the start of the clip. So you really can't be scuffing these nade strats on high ping. It's the easiest way to open the fight. So this is only when they fully commit to the box fight, when they have a clear health advantage. So you heard they got the 100 crack. If you down one enemy, you could do this pinch strategy to finish a solo, which is in this clip right here.
Au-dessus moi, au-dessus moi.
Je mets la pression, fais-le tomber. Touché 31 dans le shield.
Bon,
Putain, mince.
j'ai mis un coup de cloche, ça se bouge.
So I hope you're noticing Andilix there. If you weren't, then watch it back. Just watch it back one more time. And what I saw is that they don't go for the same build type. So for example, like ZQ wouldn't go for the front wall when Andilix wouldn't go for the back wall, sort of like simultaneously. It's way too predictable. An enemy can still out turbo build. Like think about it, we're like a few seasons into this box fight meta now. Like, you know, like that pinch is sort of getting a bit predictable. I mean, especially on high ping, it's really easy to counter, of course. So this is what they do. It's a really good strat. So ZQ sprays his AR at the enemy's front wall, making that enemy tunnel vision. Because if he stops holding his wall, it's the free damage onto him. So the AR spraying audio is overpowering and disguising Ndilex, allowing him to literally break below the enemy. This could be executed from above as well, but in this case there's a third party. I'm gonna show you another example of this, just to like solidify this point. This one was from Osborne, however, so we'll see how they play this.
Sur le cône.
Ah, mort.
C'est un monstre.
Ah, y'a une autre.
Alright, so what happened there? This time there's a duo. So, I mean, it shows that you can do this on a duo. It just has to be executed perfectly, right? So, I noted how ZQ sprays the cone. So, first letting the enemy know he's above. I sort of think this gives like a false sense of security to the enemy. Shows like, if he's above, he maybe will just keep spraying the cone. And he's not literally on the wall, sort of dropping down. But as Andilek sprays the wall, right, ZQ drops down behind, unheard by the enemy. He's able to get the wall and an easy frag, right? Because the enemy has their back turned the whole time. Like if you go back and watch that clip, the enemy has their back turned the whole time. So after this whole thing, I sort of realized that, you know, going for the same build type or on the same layer is not as effective on high ping. So this clip's related to the pinching points and why, you know, going for the same wall isn't effective. Just like a clip for like evidence, I guess, on my point.
Zone 17 shield. Crac, vas-y.
Y'a son pote, il me rush.
So yeah, clearly there, the enemy's getting pressured by a minigun. He's got C4. He's also got tac shotgun shooting into either of his walls, but he's able to hold both of them. Neither ZQ or Andilix is able to get in. All right. Just one micro point before we get onto the endgame highlight VOD review. This is why having space is so important on high ping. So we'll see like what happens here. ZQ gets in a really sticky situation, but he's able to get out of it because of the fact he has space.
Sur moi. Qu'est-ce qu'il fout là? Les deux sur moi. J'ai un HP. J'ai réussi à back.
So he was able to go back 4 boxes there just because of the pure space they had. This was, for context by the way, after the refresh they got with those nades. So I think if you're on high ping and you just get a refresh, you're going to want to use a bit of those mats to sort of make some space for yourselves. Because like say, he was down at 10 HP there and he's able to go back 4 boxes just by resetting the builds. The enemy's got about 2 boxes in and then they realized I guess it wasn't really worth it. But like, yeah, I think like if using maybe that just 1 box or 2 boxes, the enemies would have just got in because they're going to get every single wall, right? So this is why you need sort of space to sort of back off. Right, so this is going to be an endgame highlight VOD review. So this is one of the sort of games, maybe the 5th or 6th game. Because of the leaderboard points I couldn't tell. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to sort of let this clip play through and then sort of talk about things I sort of noticed. First thing I noticed here was like they treat their HP like really important, like just I guess the chance of them getting beamed by this other team that was on edge with them. They were spraying them, just hip fire spraying to sort of distract them, trying to make them move just so they could get a free pad. Because obviously that team on the opposite side of edge has a really good sort of line of sight to beam them. I also notice here they block line of sight to high ground by gliding around the trees. In stacked games though, there's going to be so many more people padding, but I think you should still do this. Like you can't be losing half of your duo's economy in terms of mats and utility here, especially like in 5th zone. I'm actually going to skip ahead here because they get a refresh. onto just a 1-kill refresh. There's a little micro point which I wanted to talk about here.
Dès qu'il repasse dans le tunnel genre là,
Ouais.
on court, je vais être le seul, on tue maintenant.
Vas-y. Tu veux qu'on tire d'en haut?
Non, non, on saute dessus.
Vas-y. Ils extendent en plus, ils extendent. Ils font un truc avec leurs
Eh,
anciens.
il revient là. Je vois pas.
Ils sont là, ils sont là.
Ah, je vois un gars qui saute là.
Ah, dommage.
Là, on peut faire un truc, il va revenir de là.
Mais ici, en dessous, en dessous, en dessous. Crac, crac, crac,
Nice little laser there, getting a refresh. But I like how Andilex, he's the only one who goes down to grab the loot, and ZQ watches up in case, you know, enemies swarm in, because, you know, he did get the knock there, so it's not a solo. So, you know, in case enemies swarmed in, ZQ has a choke angle, sort of protect Andilex. He only drops once, you know, Andilex has got all his loot, and then there's still some reserve mats which ZQ can top off on. So yeah, what this allows them to is sort of get a really easy high ground here with all the mats that they have. They're probably a bit more confident in expending them for high ground here. This height's also, I would say, pretty worth it because, you know, it's a weeping zone. There's no really line of sight for mid ground and low ground to sort of spray them out. So basically you have to tarp along here. So they obviously they're continuing to spray second height. Everyone knows this. You know, making them drop. Like you can't just pressure them and then make them not drop. Like you need to pressure them until they drop. So you see here they sort of drop 3 layers below. So, you know, now they have a bit more breathing space, a bit more comfortable. And now they can just tarp ahead, I guess, to zone. You see they see it goes up a hill. So, you know, ZQ's trying to get ahead really fast to create a choke point. But here's why I saw that was sort of a bit of a negative, or maybe something they could have done, was continue pressuring second height, because, you know, you see a second height gets pushed down 3 layers below them, but now since the zone is going up the hill, they try to get up like instantly after, and they sort of blocked the choke point ZQ and Dilix were going to get here. So you see, like, the choke point obviously be at the bottom of the hill, but now it's very much blocked out by the second height's top. So, I mean, I think if they pressured second height, it would have forced them to go like left or right around the hill, I guess, allowing ZQ and Dilix to look directly below them.
C'est bon? Ouais. Crac.
So to get the knockdown onto that player there. But the thing is, I was thinking maybe there's 14 people left, the zone went up a hill, and I think going for like the sole launcher is questionable, as I guess it would infer that a large majority of players are still fighting up that hill. Could have been a bit more easy frags for that, for ZQ and Dilix. But the thing is, in that crucial moment where they actually go for the paddock, people get ahead of them. So now people are getting backside of 6 zone, and they actually get contested height here. And this ultimately leads to ZQ's death. Right, so when they won this daily duo cash cup, I saw so many comments on Twitter saying, like, I don't understand how you didn't get griefed, because of course, like, they're 130 ping, and people like don't expect them to win, right? But here is why. Like, even with 29 alive in like the first zone, they don't rotate into a congested area. Like, people seem to forget that there can still be clusters of players around, right? Like, you see up ahead here, they hear a heavy sniper, and they see active builds there. You see some players, so like they're like, all right, why not just rotate dead side and get a free position? And that's exactly what they do. I feel like a lot of people don't do this, especially in like the daily duo cash cups. They just white line it to zone, like, you know, and like it works. Like, playing dead side in these non-stack cups is so much more valuable. Like, ZQ and Dilix, they didn't shoot a player for a total of 7 minutes, which was until the 4th zone appeared, right? So, like, of course, they're able to get set up for endgame, max mats, no ammo used. So yeah, I really think people need to like do this more if you like putting themselves in a position to not get griefed. I've got an extra clip here to show how easy it is to get tagged with nades. Like, tags are kills. So they kill us solo here, which is close to another team. Simple, like, you know, textbook from these guys. We've seen it many times in this whole VOD review. And, you know, Andilex, he predicts that this other team is going to go try grab the loot. You see, the gold RPG, there's no way, like, their mouse is drooling over it. So, yeah, he predicts this.
Crac.
And with that in mind, they're able to get another kill. Like, and they'll be in perfect range once again. That's the thing. They'll be in perfect range. So like, I think like despite hitting this opponent enemy twice with nades, they don't die. It's quite annoying. Like 9 out of 10 times they would kill him. I think he probably had fish or something. But you see that, like knowing the players, like other players, sort of getting inside their minds and literally knowing what they're gonna do and predicting it allows them to get these tags and kills. So and then we go on to like the last point, which I have, is about like how they approach their Osborne fights on high ping. And like to put it simple, they play it really slow. So like we're gonna watch this clip for a bit of context. So like, I need to give you some context first. So if we look at the storm clock, got like 30 seconds left roughly. This whole pinch took over a whole minute. Obviously I'm not going to show that, but obviously you know you've got ZQ was sort of near the hotel, and Dilix was close to him. A whole minute ago, over this whole minute, and Dilix wraps around the whole backside of Sweaty, and then they're able to pinch this opponent. And we see why it's so easy for them, because it took a whole minute, that's why. You know, they don't just swarm this guy straight away, they give him a false sense of security. So ZQ, he doesn't go for any peeks in that whole minute when Andilix is flanking, right? Because say ZQ got beamed, then the flank is over, because they're going to push on to ZQ, right? So, you know, he doesn't peek, Andilix is able to get like a linear pinch. And like this enemy, he's now cool with his pants down. He's farming, and he's able to, you know, tag him really wide. And Dix, you know, he's a good enough player. He can finish off that kill. And like the other thing we notice is like, now look how split he was from his duo, the enemy I'm talking about. Like the duo is all the way on this other blue house. They're so far away. That's the thing. So like, you know, on high ping, you want to give your opponents a false sense of security here, and then makes it so much easier to sort of finish off a kill or isolate a solo and kill him basically. So yeah.